والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم رب زدني علما، رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم انفعني بما علمتني وعلمني ما ينفعني ورب زدني علما والحمد لله على كل حال. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر أنت العزيز الميسر. So we are going to start with Ayah 247 of Surah Al-Baqarah. So this is a famous real story in the history of Islam about Talut and Jalut. So we'll start with the recitation of this Ayah 247. So I'll start myself here. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقال لهم نبيهم إن الله قد بعث لكم طالوت ملكا قالوا أنى يكون له الملك علينا ونحن أحق بالملك منه ولم يؤت سعة من المال قال إن الله اصطفاه عليكم وزاده بسطة في العلم والجسم والله يؤتي ملكه من يشاء والله واسع عليم. And قال, he said, lahum, to them, nabiyuhum, their prophet, inna, indeed, Allah, qad ba'atha, he has appointed. Ba'atha, there are three meanings for ba'atha. Ba'atha means he raised up, he brought up. Ba'atha, he appointed. Ba'atha, like mab'uth, mab'uth, the one who is appointed. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was mab'uth because he was appointed as a prophet. So the other meaning, ba'atha mean he sent. Qad ba'atha, he has appointed. This is madi qarib, which is called, which is a present perfect tense in English. He has appointed lakum, for your Taluta, Talut, Malikan, as a king. Qalu, they said, Anna, how comes, how can, Yakunu, he is or he will be, Lahu, for him, Al Mulku, the kingdom, Alayna, over us, Wa and Nahnu, we, Ahaqu, more deserving, we have more right. This is a comparative degree of Ism Tafdil, Ahaqu. Wa Nahnu, and we, Ahaqu, more deserving, be of Al Mulku, the kingdom. Minhu, than him. So this is because ahaqqu min, this is comparative degree of adjective. Ahaqqu min, more deserving than who, him. Wa am lam yuta, he was not given. Sa'a, abundance. Min, in, al mal, the wealth. Qala, he said, inna, indeed, Allah, istafa, he chose. Istafa, yastafi, and Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the chosen one, is maf'ul. Mustafi is subject, fa'il, and Mustafa, the one who was chosen. Istafa, he chose. Who, him. Alaykum, upon you. Wa, and zada, he increased. Who, him. Bastatan, extensively, extension, width, breadth. Fi, in. Al-ilm, knowledge, means breadth of knowledge. Wa, and al-jism, the body, the stature. Wa, and Allah yu'ti, he gives, mulkahu, his kingdom, man, who, yasha'u, he wills. Wallahu, and Allah, wasi'un, all wide, all sufficient for the need of his creature, alim, all knower. So let me combine everything together to make a sense. And وَقَالَ نَبِيُّهُمْ, there is an outside doer, and their prophet said to them, indeed, Allah has appointed for you Talut as a king. They said, how he can be, how the kingdom, Al-Mulku is outside doer, how the kingdom can be for him over us, and while we are more deserving than him for the kingdom. And he was not given abundance in the wealth. He said, and the prophet said, indeed, Allah has chosen, Allah chose him over you, and he increased him in extension or breadth of knowledge and the body. And Allah gives his kingdom who he wills. Who he wills. And Allah is all wise, all wide, all sufficient for the need of his creatures, all knowledgeable. Sa'a is masdar, verbal noun for wasi'a yasa'u. And wasi' is fa'il here, is used in the last part here. Wasi' is fa'il. Wasi'a yasa'u sa'a, or wus'a. In Urdu say wus'at, breadth, extension. Wus'a. Wasi' is fa'il here. Istafa, I already talked about istafa. Istafa, he chose. Zada yazidu ziyada. Basta is basata yabsutu. Allahu basitun. He is the one who increased the risk. Basit. Basata yabsutu, basit, mabsut, and basta. Width, breadth, extension, increase. Yeah. Jism is stature or the body. I think we have done yuti. We have done everything here. So, as we talked about this prophet who is Shemuel or Shamun, was one of the prophet in Bani Israel's actually. These people, they asked their prophet that if you appoint a king for us, we will fight in the path of Allah. Right? And then in response to that, their prophet said, indeed, Allah has appointed Talut as a king for you all. Allah has already appointed for you Talut so that you can fight in the path of Allah in the command of your king Talut. They said, how comes that he can be a king over us? He cannot, because we are more deserving than him for kingdom. For the kingdom, we are more deserving than him for the kingdom. Why? Because he is not from Yehuda, he is not from Jews, right? We are the offsprings of Yehuda, because all the kings and prophets, they came from the offsprings of Yehuda, while he is from Binyamin bin Yaqub. We are Yehuda bin Yaqub. We deserve more than him. He's not, because he's not from the offsprings of kings. We are. So we have a right for inheritance of kingdom. So he said, what he said, this is not the criteria. They said also he doesn't have wealth. He doesn't have wealth to qualify for the kingdomship. What the king said, this is not a criteria to have wealth, or kingdomship is not inherited, right? There are some criteria, and what are the criteria? They are specified, described here. What are the criteria for the leadership and for the king? He said Allah has already chosen Talut for him. It's not you. It doesn't depend on the wealth. This is not the criteria. Criteria is ilm and jism, that he should have good knowledge of everything, right? He should have wisdom. The wisdom means he should have decision power. He should have the power of judgment among the people, right? He should have good communication skills from this knowledge, so that he can talk to the people. He give lectures and he can convince the people. He can settle the dispute between the people. And also he should be sound in body. He has a strong soul in the body, both. He should have strong soul in the body. And it is described very beautifully in the poetry of Iqbal. The poet of the East, Allama Muhammad Iqbal, he said in his poetry, Nigah Buland, Sukhan Dil Nawaz, Jaan Pursoz, Yehi hai Rakhte Safar, Mere Karwan ke liye. See how beautifully he is translating all these criteria and attributes of a king and the leader in his poetry. That he should have a good knowledge, good communication skills, a strong soul in the body. He should have a decision power and power of judgment, to give judgment among the people and settle dispute with the people, right? And should have strong body and jism. And moreover, this is Allah who has to decide who should be the king. Wallahu yu'ti mulkahu man yasha'u. And this is Allah who gives his kingdom whomever he wills. Why? Because Allah is wasi alim. Allah knows where to put his mercy, his fazal, his grace and bounty. And also he is all knowledgeable, who is more deserving for this kingdom. He is Ali, right? And we say in our dua, Allahumma malik al-mulki tuqti al-mulka man tasha'u wa tanzi'u al-mulka mimman tasha'u wa tu'izzu man tasha'u وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ بِيَدِكَ الْخَيْرُ إِنَّكَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. So these are the criteria of a king, that it is not me, this is Allah who has already appointed this king over you. And these are the criteria and attributes and qualifications of a leader and the king. Any comment here? Zaid bhai, anybody else? Any comment? If you want to add here, any comment, you're most welcome.
Should we go to the next?
Okay, we can go to the next ayah if there's no comment. Yeah, Akhtar, please go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقال لهم نبيهم إن آية ملكه أن يأتيكم التابوت فيه سكينة من ربكم وبقية مما ترك آل موسى وآل هارون تحمله الملائكة إن في ذلك لآية لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين. And Qala, he said, Lahum, to them, Nabiyuhum, their prophet, Inna, indeed, Ayata, sign, Mulkihi, his kingdom, and that Ya'tiyakum, he will come to you all. At-tabutu, a box, ark, fihi, in it, Sakinatun, peace, min, from, Rabbikum, your Lord, wa, and Baqiyatun, remains, mimma, out of what, taraka, he left behind, Alu Musa, family of Musa, wa Alu Haruna, family of Harun. Tahmilhu, he will carry, she will carry, al malaikatu, angels. It. Al malaikatu, angels. Inna indeed, fi, in, dhalika, that, la, for sure, ayatan, sign, lakum, for you all, in, if, kuntum, you all are, mu'minin, believers. And he said, and their prophet said to them, indeed, sign of his kingdom is that a box will come to you in which are tranquility or peace from your Lord, and remains of what? Family of Musa and family of Harun left behind. The angels will carry him. Angels will carry it. Indeed, a sign in sign, there is a sign for you all if you in it, if you all are believers.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. So this is the beauty. Actually, here we want to share something here. We did not look at any translation, and these are the beauty of these classes. We are learning from these people, Dr. Abdul Khalik, Engineer Shahbaz. We are learning from these people here. So we did not use any support to translate. We created our own translation here from the tools they taught us here in the class. Anyway, so what happened? They said you have to appoint to their prophet, these people, the people of Bani Israel. They said you have to appoint a king for us. He said Allah has already appointed a king for us who is Talut. They said how it can be, as we discussed before, he cannot be a king because we are more deserving for him. He said Allah has already appointed Talut for you as a king. Then what they said? They said if this is the case, then if Allah has appointed him as a king, then Allah has to send a sign that should be a proof of evidence that Talut is a king. So in response to their questions and argument, the Prophet is telling them that indeed the sign of his kingdom will be that a wooden box will come to you and there will be a sakina in it from your Lord. Sakina is peace, tranquility, satisfaction, rahma, blessing, mercy, grace, everything is there. This sakina is very important actually. Anybody who has sakina, he has a complete satisfaction. He has no fear and terror of enemy. So it means that his heart is filled with motivation and courage. and he's a bold man, he's a brave, he can fight with anybody and against, in favor of Islam, against the enemies of Islam. So Sakina is very important because Sakina was sent down at the time of Badr and many battles at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like at the time of Badr. This Sakina was sent down on the people, and all the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were satisfied, they were having peace, comfort, rahmah, blessing, and their heart was filled with power, with motivation, encouragement, and a hope of victory. So at the end, as a result, they became victorious upon these disbelievers. So this is the same Sakina. They are going to fight against their enemy. So they are encouraged. They have been blessed with Sakina, which means tranquility, peace, comfort, satisfaction, blessing, rahmah, mercy. Anything is here. Okay, and remains of what the Musa and Harun alayhi salam they left behind. And this was a tabut, is a wooden box. So Abdullah bin Masud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, it is recorded in Al-Bukhari that these angels were carrying this tabut, wooden box, and they were coming down. They were coming down carrying this wooden box and between the sky and the earth. And ultimately they put this tabut at the door of Talut. And all the people, they were watching it. So they saw this sign. They became very happy and they became satisfied, right? They became satisfied and they were ready to fight. Actually, they were ready to accept the kingship of Talut. And then the Prophet said, "Inna fi dhalika la'ayatan lakum in kuntum mu'minin." Indeed, in that there is a sign for you. That sign, the proof, the evidence of my statement, what I told you, that Allah has appointed Talut as a king for you, and my prophetship and all my statements, what I said to you, this is a proof and evidence of that. If you are believers, mean if you are going to believe this ayah or this sign that Allah has sent down to you. And these are the remains of Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam. This tabut actually was initially these Bani Israel after Musa alayhi salam, they remain on the straight path for a certain period of time. But later on they deviated themselves from the right path, right? And they started doing evil, associating partners with Allah. So they deviated from the right path. And after that, their enemies and a king, they took this box away from them. And later on, initially when they were having this tabut, they were losing all the battles, all the wars against their enemy. They were strong because it acts as a sakina for them. But later on, when they deviated from the right path, this sakina was snatched away. This tabut was snatched away from them. So they were doing before that they were having this tabut. They were inheriting this tabut generation after generation. But after that, one of the kings, he took this tabut away, and they were without this tabut, and they were losing all the wars. So they were very much disappointed in this situation. So later on, at this time again, the sense Sakina tabut is coming here. And what is there in this tabut is a barakah, is a tabarruk, the blessings of Sakina and everything. It consists of asa, the staff of Musa alayhi salam, and some tablets, Torah, 2 shoes, and some cloths. So this is narrated in many narrations. So according to those narrations, there was staff of Musa alayhi salam, asa, Torah, some tablets, alwah, and na'lan, 2 shoes, and some cloths of Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam. So they use it as a sakina, and it was sent down by Allah. So it is really a blessing and a mercy for them. And they accepted it actually. They accepted this, and they became very happy and accepted the kingdomship of Talut. Any question, any comment that can be added here at this ayah, on this ayah? Any comment? Iqbal bhai, Dr. Iqbal, any comment here? Okay, so we can go to the next ayah. So I would ask Dr. Abdul Khalik to recite.
Okay, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فلما فصل طالوت بالجنود قال إن الله مبتليكم بنهر فمن شرب منه فليس مني ومن لم يطعمه فإنه مني إلا من اغترف غرفة بيده فشربوا منه إلا قليلا منهم فلما جاوزه هو والذين آمنوا معه قالوا لا طاقة لنا اليوم بجالوت وجنوده قال الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقو الله كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله والله مع الصابرين. Then Lamma, when Fasala, he set out.
He came.
Talut, he came out. Talut, be with Junud, the forces. Qala, he said, Inna, indeed, Allah, mubtalikum, he, the one who will test you all. Binahar, with the river. So, or then man who shariba, he drank. Minhu, from it. So, or then laysa, he is not. Minni, from me. Wa, and man who lam, did not. Yat'amhu, he tasted it or he drank it. So innahu, indeed he, minni, from me. Illa, except man who igtarafa. Igtarafa, he is
he took. Akhadha.
He scooped. He scooped or he took. Ghurfatan, handful. Yadihi, with his hand. Then sharibu, they all drank. Minhu, from it. Illa, except. Qalilan, a few. Minhum, from them. So lamma, when javazahu, he crossed it. Huwa, he. Wa, and allazina, those who amanu, they believed ma'ahu, with him. Qalu, they said, la, no. Taqa, power. Lana, for us. Al-yawma, today. Be against Jalut. Wa junudihi, his forces. Qala, he said, Allazina, those who yazunnuna, they think. Annahum, that they, mulaku, they are those who will meet. Allahi, Allah, come, how many? Min, from fiatin, group. Kalilatin, small. Fiatin, kalilatin, small group. Ghalabat, she overcame. Fiatan, kasiratan, a big group. Fiatan group, kasiratan, big, a lot. Be with iznillahi, permission of Allah. Isn't permission, Allah. Wa, and Allah ma'avid, as-sabirin, those who remain patient. There is little down. Okay. So when they left, when Talut left with the army, he said, indeed Allah is the one who will test you with the river. So whoever drank from it, then he is not from me. And whoever did not taste it, then indeed he is from me. Except who scoops a handful with his hand. Then they drank from it, except a few from them. So when he and those who believed with him crossed it, means river, they said, قالوا, they said, we do not have power against Jalut and his forces today. Today we do not have power against Jalut and his forces. He said, Talut said, those who, no, sorry, قال الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقو الله. So that is the outside word. Those who thought that they will meet with Allah said, how many small groups overcame the larger or bigger group with the permission of Allah. And Allah is with those who remain patient.
Beautiful, very beautiful. Mubtalikum, actually it is mubtalinakum. Mubtalinakum, this is mudaf ilayhi, and mudaf, the condition of mudaf should be light. Noon is dropped here, as Dr. Abdul Khalik taught us. This is mubtalinakum. The first word is ibtala, yabtali, mubtali, and the plural is mubtalun, mubtalin. Mubtala. In Urdu we say उसे बीमारी में मुब्तला कर दिया गया. So the mubtala is maf'ul, object, the one who is put in trial or a test. Mubtalikum, the one who is going to try you or test you. Okay. Man shariba, these are the conditional words, man and in. If after man and in there is past tense, it will change into present. Faman shariba minu, so whoever drinks from it. So this is one point here. Ightarafa ghurfa, you already explained it very beautifully. Ightarafa, he scooped. He takes with hand. Scoop means to take something with hand. Ghurfa is a hollow or cup of hand, or handful you. So cup of hand or hollow of hand. Okay. Jawaza, the word jawaza we used in Urdu as well. Tajawuzat. Extending the limit, right? Jawaza, yujawizu, mujawiz, mujawaza, and mujawaza. Mujawazatun is masdar, and the plural is mujawazat. And we use this in Urdu, mujawazat ko hatana, tajawuzat ko hatana. This is mujawazat. And it is interesting for the people who lived in Middle East, jiwazu safar. Jiwazu safar is passport for traveling. What is jivaz? One masdar is mujawaza, and the second masdar is jivaz, like mujahada and jihad. So jivaz or jawazul safar is passport, a document that allows you to cross the border of a country. So this is, you are crossing the border of a country. That is why it is jawaz safar. Okay. Taqat. What else? I would like to comment on yazunnuna. Dhanna, yadunnu, and dhan. This dhan is used for both meanings. Dhanna, he guessed, he thought, he doubted in something. At the same time, it is used for firm belief. Yaqeen, certainty. So both meanings are there in Arabic. So this is used for in positive sense and negative sense. So here, yazunnuna mean they had a firm belief. They were certain. This yazunnuna, so yazunnuna mean yuqinuna. Wa bil akhirati hum yuqinun. Wa bil akhirati hum yadunnun. So this is yuqinun from yaqeen. So those who had a firm belief, who were certain that they are going to meet Allah again. Mulaqullah, this is mulaqun Allahi. Mulaqun Allahi, noon is dropped because this is mudaf, and the condition for mudaf is it should be light. Kam min fiatin qalila is a small group. Fiatan kathiratun, a large group. This is sifa masuf. So kam, how often a small group defeated a large group. So this is singular here, but it's sifa masuf. But bi'iznillahi, with the help of Allah. Wallahu ma'as sabirin. And Allah is with those who are patient. There are many things to learn from this ayah here. So after sarf and nahab, let's go to the ayah here. That there are two things that a leader, an amir or king should be obeyed. The first of all, you have to obey his order, what he said. That you don't have to drink water in this nahar. No, this is the order. He said, no, you cannot. So you have to refrain yourself. This is the order of an amir. And the second thing, a king or a leader, first has to test and put them in a trial before the actual project or the task. So a leader first, he should be obeyed in all the cases, except that he is asking you to disobey Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you have to obey him first of all. The second thing, a leader has to test and try his people under him, or his soldiers, army under him, before to go to the real task or the war, or in the war front. So these are the two things to be noticed here. So he said, Allah is going to try you. So this is from Allah, is a test and try for the people. The first of all, I forbid you to drink water from this nahar. Yeah, this is very important. And also when you are going for a war or for a task, there are problems, there are difficulties of hunger and thirst. So should not take too much water, should not take too much food, because you will become lazy. So these are the tactics to be used in the front war. You have to be patient against the hunger and the thirst and other severe difficulties in the war. So these are the tests for you. But some of them, it is narrated that there were around 80,000 soldiers in the army of Talut. But what is going to happen here? They are going to filter. Now there's a filtration process is going on, a test, a trial. Allah is going to filter good and bad. So this nahar is basically acting a filtration plant. If somebody drinks from it, khalas, because he disobeyed. But if somebody is just tasting his and quenching his thirst, is not taking too much, just he's taking a hollow or cup of his hand, right? Khalas. Then he said, if anybody drinks from this river, he's not from me. And if somebody does not drinks, he is from me. So Allah is actually filtering the good people and the bad people. So after putting this filtration in the form of a river, what happened? The 80,000 people, most of them were filtered, and the remaining filtered was 313. So only 313, the believers, they left with Talut alayhi salam. And this was the decision of Allah. This was a test and trial of Allah. He always tests people to separate the munafiqeen, hypocrites, disbelievers and believers. So here, the munafiqeen, hypocrites and disbelievers are filtered. Only a few people in hundreds, means 313. Abdullah bin Masud, no, this is Bara bin Azib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He narrated actually. This is recorded in Al-Bukhari. He said, we used to say that the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who participated in the battle of Badr, they were 313, just as many as the soldiers who crossed the river with Talut, and they were only believers who crossed the river. So 80,000 people, after applying this filtration of the river, the left filtrate is 313, and they are pure believers here, right? And this river is between Jordan and Palestine, and this is at the border of Palestine and border. This is called Darya Urdan, or the river of Jordan, and this is also called the river of Sharia. The river of Sharia it is at the west bank between the border of Palestine and Jordan. So what is happening here again? These 313 pure believers, when they started they actually started to go with Talut for fighting against their enemy, right? What happened here? Even some of them in these 313, they said, we cannot fight with them. We are only few people. We cannot fight with them, right? We don't have a power. We don't have material means and material sources to fight against them. We don't have. But the people who are really well versed, Ahlul Dhikr, scholar, the people who knew this, who knew the books actually, they said no, because they have a certain belief that they are going to meet Allah. That how often a small group actually defeated a large group with the permission of Allah, and Allah is with those who are patient. So there are two things here. First of all, they should be patient, and second thing is, it is with the bi'idhnillah, mean with the help of Allah. Without help of Allah, you cannot win a war. You cannot be victorious, because there are different criterias different qualifications and criteria to win a war actually. So we'll talk about it later on, but here it is mentioned that without sabr, you have to be patient. You have to be patient. Then you have to wait for the help of Allah, as what happened in the battle of Badr and Hunain and Tabuk and many other battles actually. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked for the help of Allah and it came down. And they were patient against everything. They were patient against the thirst. They were patient against hunger, and they were patient against all the severe difficulties in the war front and the battlefield. I think we can go. If we don't have any, do we have any comment here at this point?
Just one. I mean, Gurfa means a space or a room, right?
Yeah, Ghurfa, Jazakumullah khair. In Arabic, yeah, we used to say that Ghurfa.
Gurfa.
Yeah, Farash, Ghurfa means a room.
Bedroom.
Any empty space, any hollow,
Yeah,
any
exactly.
hollow volume is called Ghurfa. For example, here, when you make this cup of your hand, cup and hollow of your hand, it is called Ghurfa, because it's a room to go there, is a room in your hand to place something. Yeah, Jazakumullah khairan. Ghurfa means an empty space where you can put something, a hollow volume, like a room. Room means you have plenty of space to go in and put something there. So Ghurfa, any place where you can put something. You have some comment? Yeah, Ghurfatul Julus or Ghurfatul Firash.
Ghurfatul
No.
Yeah, Ghurfatul Naum. Ghurfa is a room. Yeah, Jazakumullah khairan. So here we are creating a room of our hands to put something in our hand. We can put anything here in our room, in our hand. So this is a hollow cup of our hand. We can put something in it. Yeah.
And Javazat is, passport, you said.
Yeah, Javazat as Javaz, the plural of Javazat. Jawaza and Javazat. A document that permits you, that allow you to cross the border of a country.
Assalamu alaikum. I have one question, please.
Any question here?
Yeah, Fasala mean related with Fasla?
Yeah, Fasala is very important word. Fasala, in Urdu we use Fasla.
Decided.
And we use Fasala. This is Fasala, this is Faisala, this is Fisal. Fisalul walad. So Fasila mean a distance, right? Faisala mean a decision, meaning separate the evil from bad from the good. There's a Fasla decision. You are separating something good from the bad is a Fasla decision, right? And Fasla, you are creating a distance. You are removing something. You are leaving away. Fisalul laban. To remove the breastfeeding is called Fisalul laban, because you are removing the child from the breast. So this is from Fasla, distance, removing. So here, Dr. Abdul Khalik translated it as when Talut left out. So he left a place. He was removed from a place to go somewhere else. So Fasla. I think it should be clear here at this point. Yeah. I would ask Zaid Bhai, if you are there. Zaid Bhai, can you hear me? No. I think we should go to Brother Azhar. Azhar Bhai.
Assalamualaikum. जी मैं हूँ.
चलिए Zaid Bhai, आप ये आयत पढ़ेंगे 250 from Surah Al-Baqarah. It's there, shared on the screen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
ये माइक के जरा करीब आएंगे Zaid Bhai, आवाज कम आ रही है.
ولما برزوا لجالوت وجنوده قالوا ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. صدق
الله.
You can translate it, Zaid Bhai.
ट्रांसलेट यहाँ पर है नहीं.
चले कोई बात नहीं, हम कर देंगे इसका इंशाल्लाह. मैं करूं? नहीं भाई, आप कर सकते हैं इसको.
इंशाल्लाह. wa barazu.
Wa and walamma. Wa.
Lamma, when barazu, when they went forth.
Yeah.
Li for Jalut wa Janudi, he his group his army
Yeah,
قالوا
his forces, his army, his troops. Yes.
قالوا, they said ربنا, O our Lord,
Oh, Allah.
أفرغ, pour
For
alayna upon us sabran, patient, was sobit, and make firm sabat kadam akdamana, our feet, one surna, and
इसको अपना नईम भाई, can you separate each and every word, because this is the combination of three words, one sunnah, wa plus unsur plus na.
unsur, um, unsur,
Wa
wa, and unsur, help us, na,
unsur help, this is fail amar order, unsur help.
Allah upon,
No, unsur you help, na us.
unsur you help na us, Allah upon al qawmi, our peoples,
The
my
people.
people,
No, my people nahi, this is not my, this is sifa mawsuf, al qawm al kafirin,
the people, al kafirin, the disbelievers.
disbelievers. Here ala is used as against, ala is against, is preposition, you can use it different meanings.
And when they went forth with Jalut and his army, they said, O our Lord, pour upon us patient and firm our feet, and
Make firm, you said make firm, it was good, set
firm our feet, and help us against the nation, the disbelievers, those who disbelieve.
Okay, good. So this al qawm al kafirin is sifa mawsuf, because it satisfies all the four conditions Dr. Abdul Khalik taught us. So al qawm al kafirin, the real meaning would be the disbelieving nation, What is afrigh? Afrigh is sabba yasubbu, sabba fil amr, sabba yasubbu. Afrigh is actually, it has a very nice meaning, very large meaning. Afrigh, very beautiful meaning. If I translate in Urdu, it's very beautiful in Urdu. Hum par sabar ko undel de, sabar ko hum par undel de, yani pour upon us patient. So the another meaning in Arabic is sabba yasubbu, sabba alayna sabran, so pour upon us the patient. This is very important to understand here. It's vast meaning, very beautiful meaning. And set our feet firm. Yeah. So barazu here, barazu mean they came out and appeared before Jalut and his army. They came out and appeared before Jalut and his forces or his troops, and they make this dua. So see here, they were 313. When they said we are only few people here, and they have a large group of people under the strong nation of Amalaka. Amalaka, this nation was a great warrior. Amalaka and Bani Israel, they were a great warrior and a brave nation, actually, a great warrior and a brave nation of this king fighting under the leadership of Jalut. So that is why they made a dua. What was the dua? They said, "Oh our Lord, pour upon us the patient." Right? We should be patient in all against thirst and hunger and all these severe difficulties at the war front or in the battlefield, and make or set our feet firm, so that we should not run away from the battlefield, and then we should not be defeated, right? So this is a very beautiful dua, that, oh Allah, make our feet, set our feet firm, so that we should not run away from the battlefield on our backs, and we should not be defeated, and help us, make us victorious against the disbelieving nation. So what does it mean? They had to make a dua. So despite of all these material means, resources, all the preparations, all the chain of supply chain, you have to have some criteria, as we discussed before. What are they? We said sabr. Sabr. In Allah, Sabr is mentioned there at the end of Surah Al Imran about the war front and the battlefield. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sabiru wa sabiru wa rabitu wattaqullaha la'allakum tuflihun. O people, you should be patient against the hunger, thirst, and all the severe difficulties in the warfare and battlefield. And sabiru. Here sabiru mean وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا. Sabiru, you should set your feet firm so that you should not run away by the fear and terror of the enemy. Right? This way, and then said وَرَابِتُ. You should be prepared. You should be well prepared for the war. You should have all the supplies and resources, right? And as it is said in Surah Al-Anfal, أَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ مِنْ قُوَّةٍ وَمِنْ رِبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ تُرْهِبُونَ بِهِ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ وَعَدُوَّكُمْ. This is a command and order of Allah to prepare yourself against the enemy, right? So he said, you should prepare and you should make ready everything, whatever you can do, from the power and from the horses of the battlefield, tanks, missiles, rockets, cannons, fighter jets, and warheads, and even nuclear warheads, so that you terrify and threaten the enemies of Allah and your enemy. This is very important, to be fully prepared for a war and against the enemy in the path of Allah. This is very important. The enemies who are fighting against Islam, you have to make yourself ready. You have to make ready all the new modern inventions of wars. Like I said, tanks, missiles, horses, right? Fighter jets, even nuclear warheads you have to prepare. We have to prepare all this order. And after that, you should not trust on these material things, right? Then the criteria is that you should have sabr. You should have taqwa, right? You should have iman. Iman is very important, because it's very important. It said, وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. And you will be on the top. You will overcome. You will overwhelm them. You will defeat them if you are believers. So this is the condition, iman. Then وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ, taqwa. And then sabr, wasbiru, inna Allah ma'a sabirin. Then tawakkal. The fourth thing is tawakkal. What is tawakkal? وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. And consult with them in any matter. Like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam consulted companion of Rasulullah at the time of what is this battle called? Battle Khandaq, Ahzab. He asked people what to do. Then Sulaiman Farsi radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was a warrior, expert in wars. He suggested that we should make a ditch between Medina and out of Medina, so that they should not be able to enter Medina in the city, right? And it was accepted there. So you have to consult people, your soldiers, your army, your commanders under you. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. You have to consult them in any matter, even in the war, battlefield, you have to consult them for the preparation, right? فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. When you make a firm decision, then trust in Allah. So this is the fourth tool for a moment, that he has to trust on Allah. فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. When you make a firm decision, then trust in Allah. Why? Because إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. Because Allah actually likes, He loves those who trust on Him. So let us count them again. Number one, iman, taqwa, sabr, tawakkal ala Allah. And the fourth thing, the help of Allah. The fifth one is the help of Allah. You have to ask for the help of Allah, because despite of all these things, despite of all these material sources, full preparation, you cannot win a war. Despite of all these numbers in the war, it doesn't depend. The victory doesn't depend on the numbers. Victory doesn't depend on these material preparation, the supply chain, nothing but the help of Allah. So after having all these four attributes or criteria to win a war, to be victorious, we have to ask for the help of Allah. And this is what they did. They did here. They make dua. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua at the nights of battles of Badr, Ahzab, and many more. People, companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saw him at the daytime. He's fighting against the enemies, but at night he's praying and making dua and asking for the help of Allah. And it came down. The help came down in the form of Sakina, in the form of angels. The troops of angel came down in the response of dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So these are, despite, in addition to all these materials, means and preparation of wars and numbers in the soldiers, numbers of your number of people in the army, you should have all these criteria, including the asking for the dua and bi'idhnillah, with the help of Allah. So these are the criteria to win a war, and they did it. They did it. They did it. Any comment or addition you would like to add here at this point? If not, so let's go move forward. I would ask Brother Azhar.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن فهزمهم بإذن الله وقتل داود جالوت وآتاه الله الملك والحكمة وعلمه مما يشاء ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لفسدت الأرض ولكن الله ذو الفضل على العالمين. So Hazamu defeated whom
okay.
Be with isn't with his will or permission, Allah. Wakatala, he killed Daud, Jaluta, Jalut, Wa, and Atahullahu, Allah gave him Al-Mulk, the kingdom, Wal Hikmata, and wiseness or wisdom.
Wisdom, we can say wisdom.
Wa, and Allamahu, he taught him, Mimma, from what?
From what? It's good.
From
what?
Yasha'u, he will. Wa, and Lawla, if not. Dafa'u. Dafa'u mean push away.
Push away, move away, to move them, move away.
Dafa'u, move away.
दफाओ किसको कहा है अजहर भाई? दफाओ
वो जो the people.
ठीक है
अच्छा
जी ठीक है
An-nasu, the people. Ba'dhum mean some of them. Bibad, be with. Bad mean others. La, for sure. Fasadat mean
fasadat,
like
she was
fasad, corruption.
Yeah, from fasadat, this is fa'alat, she, muannas. She becomes corrupted. She mischieves. She mischieved. She becomes corrupted, right?
She corrupted al-ard, the earth. Wa, and la, lakinna, but Allah, Zul Fazli, Zu possessor, Fazal mean bounty, Allah, upon Alamin, the all kingdom, all over the kingdom.
All the words. Alam, plural of alam, alamun, alamin, yeah.
Alamin. So they defeated them with Allah permission, Dawood, his outside doer, Dawood killed Jalut,
Very good.
and
Very good.
Allah gave him the kingdom and wisdom, and he taught him from what he wants, and not he push away Allah the people, some of them with others. For sure,
Start with outside door. You are
okay. The outside doer is the earth.
Ah.
The earth corrupted.
Would have been
corrupted.
corrupted. Yeah.
But but Allah, possessor of Allah is possessor of bounty upon all over the world.
अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन मैं पूछता हूँ जरा आपसे अजहर भाई, ये
जी,
कहीं
जी।
से देखा आपने या खुद से किया है सारा ट्रांसलेशन?
जी पहले देखा था डॉक्टर साहब,
लेकिन आपने बहुत खूबसूरत किया है माशाल्लाह, बड़ा अच्छी तरह तोड़ा है आपने एक एक वर्ड को, बड़े वैसे हम इंस्पायर्ड हैं आपसे।
मुझे तो मुझे ये नहीं था बस आ रहा लफसादत तिल अर्दोले
नहीं, बड़ा अच्छा अच्छा, very good, jazakumullah khairan brother Adhar, very nice translation, beautiful. فَهَزَمُوهُمْ, I will use my Urdu here to translate this. Fa, so, hum, them. Hazamu is, I know in Urdu, उनको बड़ी हजीमत उठानी पड़ी. What is हजीमत? Dr. Zahid is actually, brother Zahid is expert in Urdu. Hazamu.
शर्मिंदगी,
तकलीफ,
शिकस्त, उर्दू में हम हजीमत को शिकस्त कहते हैं, शिकस्त, और इंग्लिश में डिफीट कहते हैं. So I will use my Urdu here. So they defeated them, means उन्हें बड़ी हजीमत उठानी पड़ी. They defeated them with the permission of Allah, right? With the permission of Allah. Here, what is the permission of Allah? Permission of Allah is the help of Allah. How the Allah's help came? They made a dua. رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغْ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا وَانصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ. They made this dua and they defeated them with the permission of Allah. What does it mean? With the help of Allah, right? After their dua was accepted, right? Their dua was accepted here. So this is very important, that as we said before, that despite of all these material means and all the full preparation of the war, you should ask for the help of Allah. This is very important. Should be fully prepared for the war front and the battlefield. And it is said in Al-Bukhari, ribatu yawmin fi sabilillah, ribatu yawmin fi sabilillah khayrun min ad-dunya wa ma alayya. Fighting or preparing for the war, fighting in the war front or in the battlefield in the path of Allah is better than the entire world. And whatever is in this world, whatever, wama fiya, right, is better than that. General Khalid bin Walid radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was very sad and in pain because he did not die as a martyr in any battlefield. He did not die. He was a great general of army, General Khalid bin Walid radiyallahu ta'ala. He was very sad and in pain because he did not die as a martyr in any. He was sad. He was sad that he had to die on his own bed. He could not get this martyrdom in a battlefield. So see the importance of this jihad, fighting in the path of Allah, striving in the path of Allah, fi sabilillah. How important it is that a well-known general in the Islamic history, that he wished that he should have died in a battlefield as a martyr, but he could not because it's the izn of Allah, the permission of Allah. Allah knows better. So he was sad that he had to die on his own bed. So after the acceptance of their dua, they defeated them. وَقَتَلَ دَاوُدُ جَالُوتَ. This is very important to learn. ये अपने अजहर भाई, if you could tell me, translation could be Jalut killed Daud. Why not Jalut ने दाऊद को कत्ल किया? How did you translate it like this, Daud? Why
Same
Daud?
brother, same you just told us the outside doer, and outside doer is a Dawood over here. If Jalutu, then Jalut killed Dawood.
So, okay, I'm saying Jalut killed Daud. Can you modify in Arabic this sentence? We don't modify Quran, but we
Wakatala Jalutu Dawuda.
MashaAllah, Barakallahu feek. This is one of the tools to understand Quran, and this is called Nahab. Nahab is one of the signs of Allah actually. Nahab, the composition used in the Quran, the language of the Quran is very beautiful, and this is one of the miracles, the beauty of the Quran, one of the signs of nature of Allah, one of the sign of Qudra of Allah that we are using here in this beautiful language to understand this beautiful words of Allah. Alhamdulillah, very good, mashallah. What is hikmah? Mulk is kingdom. Hikmah, what is hikmah here?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom actually here, وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. And he will teach them the book and hikmah. What is hikmah? Hadith, right? Hikmah. Kitab is Quran and hikmah is the books of hadith and sunnah of Rasulullah sallam. And these are all the statements of wisdom. All the statements of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam containing there in all these Sahih Sitta, they are actually the statements of wisdom. And Allah told him, he's not saying from his own desire. Whatever he says is from Allah. He's not saying by his own desires. This is hikmah. And hikmah also means wisdom. Dawood killed Jalut. Dawood killed Jalut actually here. And Allah gave him the kingdom. And hikmah. What is hikmah here? Hikmah here is the prophethood. Hikmah is the prophet because wisdom is given to the prophet. And at the same time, Allah gave him hikmah. Hikmah is also the wisdom. And it is mentioned in the Quran, yu'til hikmata man yasha'u. Allah gives this wisdom whom he wills. وَمَنْ يُؤْتَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا قَصِيرًا. And whoever is given this hikmah or wisdom, he has given an abundant goodness. A goodness in abundance he has given. So he got everything. So this is and there's a hadith narrated in Al-Bukhari that we can envy two people. We can envy two people. The one who Allah has given the wealth and he is spending in the path of Allah. And the second person who has knowledge and hikmah, the wisdom. And he's using this hikmah for the judgment between the people and settling their dispute. And he is teaching this wisdom to other people. These two people we can envy on. This is allowed. This is mentioned. This is said by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this hikmah is there. So and also he was given. Dawood was given the kingdom and the hikmah. Hikmah means the prophethood. Kingdom after Talut died. He was made as a king of that over that nation. And hikmah after Shmuel alayhi salam, Shamun alayhi salam, when he died, and Dawood alayhi salam was appointed as a prophet by Allah. So the second, وَعَلَّمَهُ مِمَّا يَشَاءُ, and he taught him out of what he wills. What he taught? He taught him the knowledge, ilm and hikmah, the wisdom. He was using this wisdom to judge between the people, and settle dispute of the people, right? And he was the chief justice of the Supreme Court at that time. So he was a judge, he was a king, he was a prophet. So Allah gave him the power of judgment to judge the people and settle their dispute at the same time. He was a prophet. And also Allah gave him huge knowledge, the skills. What are the knowledge? وَعَلَّمْنَاهُ سَنَةَ لَبُوسٍ لَكُمْ لِتُحْسِنَكُمْ مِنْ بَأْسِكُمْ. And we taught him manufacturing of armor. We taught him the manufacturing of armor so that it can save you in your wars. So these armors we are using, the cloths, the metal cloths we are using to protect ourselves in a war. He was making these armors, right? So what happened? Allah gave him a miracle. And it is said in Surah Al-Saba, وَأَلَنَّا لَهُ الْحَدِيدَ وَأَلَنَّا لَهُ الْحَدِيدَ. And we made the iron soft for him. He was putting the iron in his hand and molding him and making whatever he wants. So he was making it right from. So this is skill. So regarding this, he was the first mechanical engineer of this world. Dawood alayhi salam was the first mechanical engineer of this world. And at the same time, he was given the most beautiful voice in this world, most beautiful voice, because he was glorifying Allah with mountains and with the birds. It is said in the Quran, يا جبال أوبي معه والطير. يا جبال أوبي معه والطير. O mountains, you glorify me with Dawood alayhi salam, and O birds, you too. So these birds and all the mountains were glorifying Allah with Dawood alayhi salam. He knows all the languages of these creatures, right? So he was granted the most beautiful voice at the same time. He was given the knowledge of hikmah, the judgment. He was given the knowledge of mechanical engineering. He was putting, so okay, I'm finished here. So these are the things were given to Dawood alayhi salam. And Talut promised actually that anybody who will kill Jalut, he will marry my daughter, and at the same time, I will make him a king of my kingdom. So it was accepted at that time. So he was given the kingdom, he was given the hikmah, he was given the prophethood, and Allah taught him all these knowledges of judgment and mechanical engineering and all the things. And he was actually, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave the example of a person who is earning money, gave the example of Dawood alayhi salam. He said, Al-Kasibu Habibullah. Al-Kasibu Habibullah, the one who is earning money with his hands is the friend of Allah. And Dawood alayhi salam was earning with his own hands, using all these skills and expertise and engineering of mechanical engineering. Is done? Achha. I think we are running out of time here. It's 8:30, so we have passed 10 minutes about the scheduled time. So I don't know, we should conclude it here, or
I'm coming.
We should conclude it here or go further for the next part of the ayah. Dasana ji.
Yeah, if you can explain quickly the next part, it would be great.
Yeah.
In 1 minute or so.
وَلَوْلَا دَفَعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ. If had Allah not removed these people, if some of them by others, then this earth would have been filled of this corruption, cruelty and mischiefs on this earth. But Allah, because Allah is full of bounty and mercy over all the mankind, so he is removing these people who started to do these evils, and they associated partners with Allah, doing wrongdoing with the people, attacking the people, and also creating a cruelty in this world. Actually, this is the sunnah of Allah. This is called sunnat Allah, and this is a mercy of Allah that La tabdila li sunnatillahi. There is no change. There is no change in the law of nature. There is no change in the law of Allah. There is no change in the law of nature, that Allah removes all these corrupt people. He removes one group of people by the others, so that to establish the peace, tranquility on this earth. So this is the sunnah of Allah. He's always there for his mercy and fazal, because Allah is full of bounty, his grace, mercy over all the mankind. And this is the mercy of Allah, that he's actually implementing the sunnatullah, the law of nature on the earth, that if somebody is cruel, a king is cruel, a nation is cruel, they are associating partners with Allah, creating mischief or corruption on this earth, he will remove them. He will use some group of the people to remove these people, so that he can establish peace and tranquility on this earth. And this is the mercy of Allah, and this is sunnatullah, the law of Allah. La tabdila li sunnatillahi. There is no change in the law of nature. There is no change in the way and the law of Allah. So I think we should conclude it here. Inshallah, we will continue from here next time. So I'm concluding it here with the dua. When we finish the class or a conference, Subhanallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.
Assalamu alaikum.